I'm Frances Matthews. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a senior. So last year, when we were starting to write the U.S. history paper, I was really interested in the topic that I'm now doing for AHR, which is basically looking at the movement of women out of the workforce and back into the home post-World War II and seeing, like, what were the driving factors in that, like, shift. So I presented that to Dr. Peterson, who taught my U.S. history class, and he basically told me that that was too big of a topic for that paper. And I was like, great. So I reevaluated, and I, chose a different topic, but it was kind of in the back of my mind as, what would be an interesting thing to research. So when I was looking at courses last year, I was like, oh, wait, AHR, I could write that paper. So that was the main driving force behind why I signed up for it.
My name's Emma Tan. I'm a current junior, and I use she, her pronouns. My project is about the different environmental factors that contribute to horizontal gene transfer, which is the transfer between organisms, outside of just from parent to child. I really enjoy doing more hands-on scientific projects. I always loved doing labs when I took genetics last year. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to expand on that and really research deeper into something I wanted to do. Mostly, I was hoping to get out better, paper writing skills. We're writing a paper for not a science competition anymore, but we're still writing a paper. And honestly, the process of it, a lot of times, we do smaller labs, and I was hoping this would, help expand my whole repertoire.
I'm John Peterson, he, him, upper school history teacher. It began in 2019. I was department chair at the time, and we were talking about new courses. And a fellow teacher, Nan Dreher, Dr. Dreher, who's no longer here, we visited Breck together. We saw Breck had this course. And so we talked to some people there. We stayed for a day, visited the course, talked to various teachers who had taught the course and thought, well, this would be a class that we'd like to do here. And then the pandemic happened, and so then that kind of stopped things for a while. And then we were, I think it was 2022 or 3, Dr. Murr and I were talking about this again because things had kind of stopped in the pandemic. And so at that point, she and I kind of brought that back up. And so she and I started working on the course and trying to make a go of it. So I was in touch with her in the process. I was in touch with Breck and what they did in the process. I had again, various other history faculty collaborators in the process, and the different academic councils and kind of the levels of people that you need to go through to get a class approved at SPA. So those were the things that happened over the course of, I guess, 4 years, but again, mostly off, not on because of the pandemic. And then we started the course in the fall of 23.
Specifically, this class, it feels a lot more student-led. We're given a rough outline of what we have to have done and when we need it done, but for the most part, it's controlled by us, so we organize our own. What we need for materials, our timing. And it's a lot more reliant on your own time management, which I think is honestly a very helpful skill. I think, it obviously helps a lot with college applications, which is important later, but also it gives students an opportunity to dive deeper into what they want to research and give them an opportunity to try out what they're more passionate about outside of just doing biology.
So why students take the class? I hope because they like history, because they want to do it. Hopefully they can learn something about themselves and their world. It's a very individualized thing because typically students will do something that they have a personal connection or a family connection to. In some ways they can feel like they get closer to their grandparents or places that they're, or people at some point in their own family history or past.
I think it's really important that students get the chance to design their own projects a little bit. It happens in all history classes and all science class, a lot of science classes. You get to design specific projects. But I think having these advanced research courses let students who really feel passionate about the research it lets them seek out more opportunities for it.